This Hangout on Air is live. It is Saturday, December 2nd, 2017 here on the Rancho. And good morning to each and every one of you. And back in the saddle again. It seems like I was just here a few hours ago, fighting and struggling over a German chocolate cake, a Christian Haslinger. Linz, Austria, Österreich, German chocolate chip cake. Good morning, Missy Jen.
Good morning. How's it going?
How's that look? Huh? Let's take a look at the how the finished product. I think it really came out beautifully. It was really the result of having to do two cakes. The first one was just a little too liquidy in its balance. And I just shit canned that after about 2 hours into the chooch last night, and started over again and made another cake. The good news is I made the icing first because it's a very complicated icing that uses milk and sugar, and you just have to continuously stir until it becomes a caramel. It's a very demanding recipe. So Jen, you can check that out. I think it turned out just like you would expect. Just like you would expect a German chocolate cake
really beautiful,
to look like.
Just like the German chocolate cake.
And it's got the
Austria.
Yeah, it's got the pecans in it, busted up in the caramel frosting on there with the coconut.
Christian.
Hey, Christian.
Herzlich willkommen zu diesem Live-Chat. Hier ist dein Kuchen, Christian.
The Christian Haslinger. There he is.
Christian sagt, thank you very much. He's
Isn't that nice to have friends worldwide?
Says it's a super nice cake. And he's very happy.
Yeah, let's talk a minute about Christian and what a good tell him in German. You know, what an excellent friend he's been.
Ja, Christian, du bist ein sehr guter Freund für Rosi und für mich auch. Du lässt uns immer jeden Tag neue Kommentare, sehr viele schöne Kommentare. Und ich selber bin in Deutschland aufgewachsen, bin auch durch Österreich mehrfach durchgefahren mit dem Auto und kann daher auch sehr gut die deutsche Sprache verstehen und auch dann für uns alle dann schön übersetzen. So Christian says he doesn't speak any other foreign language.
Okay, well tell Christian we should get together and drink 100 beers, you know.
So Rosie sagt, wir sollten mal zusammenkommen und mal 100 Biere zusammen trinken.
Ein Prosit, ein Pro. That's what we should do. What's the other one? What's the other one I know, Jen? What's the one from The Sound of Music? What's the song in there? Deutsche Bravo, yeah. So das is super. All right, it's good. What is it?
Well,
Edelweiss, do. So we'll cut the cake in a little bit, wait for a few more people. Definitely, Jen, one of the most challenging cakes. I started at 9 p.m. last night. Luckily, I made the icing first because I knew that would take the better part of 45 minutes to do that icing. And that was extremely complicated because you had to continuously stir for about 40 minutes to make sure. And I mean, my arms were ready to fall off at that point. But the result was you have that caramel color. It's really representative of a, I think I'll stick the cake over here.
Okay, so sie sagt, dass es Creme.
Good morning, Tara.
Die Creme, die Außencreme.
Yeah, you don't have to translate. I'm just saying it was very complicated. The hardest cake I ever made.
Es dauerte 40 Minuten, das zu rühren. Und das war der schwierigste Kuchen, den sie je gemacht hat.
Yep, good morning, Tara.
Aber
We love you,
es
babe.
war sehr viel Spaß.
Tara might not make the hangout. Her boss is working her to death right now, so she let me know. But anyway, yeah, so the first cake, then I went on because the icing has to really cool down. Good morning, Brian. The icing has to really cool down before you can put it on the cake, or else it just melts away off the side. The sugar just melts and it turns into a goopy mess. You need to have icing that adheres to the cake, right? So
that's right.
I'll raise my seat up a little bit.
The icing needs to stick to the cake. So
yeah.
Hello, Tara Boo, love you. And good morning, Minnesota Brian.
And we got Minnesota Brian in the house, and there's Edward. Good morning.
Good morning, Eddie.
Yeah, there's little bear Jen. Yeah, she's in the house.
Yeah.
She slept through all the drama last night, but then she went out to investigate a noise at 2:30 and tripped and busted her knee all up.
Yeah.
Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, Drew. Hope you're doing all right.
Yep.
You're doing good.
No news is good news, so I'm always happy when it's, when I don't, Drew's got a lot on his plate right now, and it's the holidays coming up. But the first cake that I produced was over liquidated, too many eggs. And good morning, Diane.
Good morning,
how are you,
Diane?
sweetie? Good morning, Deb. We'll give you a close-up of how it turned out here. It really is the standard color of the German chocolate cake. It has the coconut, it has the pecan, and it has the caramel icing, which was, it's all scratch baking here, nothing out of a can. So the first one that I produced, though, it wasn't setting up properly in the middle, which is too much liquid in there, so since I'd already made the icing, I decided putting up a standard chocolate cake was easy, my own recipe. So I just crap canned the first one and just did it my way, and it came out exactly the way. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, and when you bake enough, you become proficient in just knocking out a standard recipe for a cake. I got out the cocoa powder, and put that into use that for the batter, and really made a nice chocolate batter there. So it all worked out pretty good. Now the result was it was 1:30 in the morning here. It went from 9 to 4.5 hours. I mean, it was a long hangout. And I joked at the beginning that this would probably be an 8-beer hangout, and it was an 8-beer. It was exactly.
That's good. 8 beers is good.
8 beers over 4.5 hours. But I got up feeling a little punch drunk this morning, but it's good.
I probably would have had 20 beers.
So we're waiting. The sun's coming out. We've got a lot to do today. We're going to be getting our Christmas tree. You guys are going to be along for us. We also have Friday Night Foodies. Last night was a new experience for us.
Yes, it was.
New to us restaurant.
Slobberknockers, so you will definitely enjoy that.
Enjoy that. Now there will be some bonus footage from nighttime in Petaluma, some cinematic kind of stuff we took, and also we went to a really overcrowded Christmas tree exhibit where ladies were raising money for charity, and they were auctioning. You go around and put how much you want to pay. They have a clipboard. You can write down how much you want to pay for the tree, and they're all variously decorated. But the way they had it, it wasn't good for crowd flow and stuff. So it was kind of a mess. But I got some beautiful video of that, and they even had fake snow coming.
It was really interesting. They had a prize. And then it was like
buy it now price.
Set up like it was set up like a certain website. There was a price that they evaluated, and then if you buy it now, this is how much you pay. If you buy it now, then you could put in bids, and then the highest bidder could basically win it, and then there was a certain time limit. At a certain time, there was a cutoff, and then whoever won the trees, then that money would go to some kind of a cause. They also were selling tickets,
Raffle tickets.
for something. And
So
I think they were like $20 a ticket.
I'm not really sure if they were going, you know, this is a 3-day event. It was last night was the first night, so everybody was cruising around with their wine, and you know, it was way too crowded. Jen was in her wheelchair, and I'm trying to negotiate through with just impossible. I mean, people just aren't looking down; they're just looking ahead there. So you know, it kind of took the fun out of it. But I'm not sure whether they, at the end of the night, those trees go, and then the next day they bring in a whole new raft of trees for the Saturday event, and then Sunday. So who knows? I have no idea.
It was still a lot of fun. I got to see quite a few trees, and there were a lot of really nice people there. I gotta say, some of those people were really, really nice. They came and like, I'm gonna show, hi, how are you doing? You're looking good and everything. Because I was just sitting there looking around and stuff. It was really nice. And then, yeah, on our way out, they had a machine installed on top of one of the rooftops, and it was blowing out fake snow, but it was actually almost like real snow. When it touched you, it literally melted into your clothes.
Pretty wild. It was like a glycerin or something. It was very interesting.
Wild.
So we got a lot of that video coming up for you guys.
I was like, let's get out of this.
It's a really nice experience.
Blizzard. I was
like a blizzard. So
yeah,
that was good. Our dinner last night was very unusual, and I will tell you guys up front that it was a Turkish restaurant, and I'll tell you, it blew our socks off last night.
It was good. No, it was your first Turkish, right?
No, we had King Falafel. Really, well, it was the first Turkish in the sense that it was a guy from Istanbul had opened a restaurant here.
Now, I've eaten hundreds of times from various authentic Turkish people when I lived in Germany, and I was able to compare this to the from Germany, and it was just.
So you guys got that to look forward to.
I can't say any more than that. All I can say, it was a slobber knocker, and you're gonna have to check it out. Yeah,
it'll be up later today, and it was interesting too that it's not often an appetizer. Sometimes appetizers steal the show, but I'll tell you, as far as looking beautiful, this was the most beautiful thing that had ever been set in front of us at a restaurant. So it was pretty nice, homey place down there. Really nice, small, intimate.
Everybody's smiling.
You know, no problem taking video and all that
service.
Kind of stuff. So
I mean, when the service is like, you drop a fork on the floor and they are running right away. Bam, here's the new fork. You don't even have to ask for a fork. I mean, they're like right, bam, there.
No, it's interesting. You know, I had Turkish beer, SA or something. It's like the #1 beer in the Mediterranean. It's made in Istanbul over there. And, you know, Istanbul had also a long heritage of sort of being under British colonial rule, too. So, damn if they didn't take their wheat ale and take that in and use that recipe. And I'm no big fan of ale, but it was pretty good. You know, I'm all about the German lager style beer. So yeah, that was the claim to fame on that. So it was pretty good. It was an interesting night. So you got that to look forward to. And our evening in Petaluma, I took all the lenses down. Really took a lot of cinema lens, all kinds of things.
Rosie put a lot of work in capturing a lot of amazing nightlife, street scenes in Petaluma. There were some really amazing things to capture in Petaluma. It's a really nice city that's nestled in the somewhere in the Northern California, where it's like safe and sound. There's a lot of traffic going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of people walking around.
Well, it's a beautiful it's a beautiful town.
But they got a lot of nice little shops.
South County. We're in Central County, heading north, but this is South County, and you know, it's nice to go to a town that was upbeat. They were happy. They didn't have the fire damage that we had here, and the city was vibrant and nice. I mean, there's just a pall that hangs over this town right now. It's always been kind of a hard luck city compared to Petaluma in 1906 when the big earthquake came through. Good morning, Jasmine. Hi, sweetie. When the big earthquake came through in 1906, Petaluma was untouched by that. So that's why you have a lot of the old cast iron front buildings down there that have survived.
The old theater.
From the 1860s and 70s, where Santa Rosa was just basically wrecked in 1906. So it shows you how two cities in close proximity can suffer differently in earthquakes. And then in the fires, of course, Petaluma has never been touched by fire, where Santa Rosa has been hit multiple times with large-scale wildfires. And, you know, the one in '64, it was, you know, it's lucky there wasn't any in the hills at that time compared to now. It was just total devastation. So the town was very upbeat, frenzied, a lot of people there. So it was nice to just kind of get out of this town a little bit and go to a place where, you know, the spirits were high and all that. So it's always nice to see. Jasmine was with me on the late shift last night. She saw the birth of multiple cakes here for our German chocolate cake. So yeah, quite a night last night. So I think we'll go ahead and get the knife. We'll tuck into these cakes. I'm going to cut Missy Jen a nice piece here, and yeah, we'll get the taste test here for the Christian Haslinger Deutsch.
I also have some hot chocolate here.
Yeah, I don't know where Joe is. We've got Joey D.
Joey D.
Sent Jen a beautiful saucer cup and what was that? Burdicks? Be careful, Jen. Don't spill that. That's hot as hell on that. So
L.A. Burdick.
L.A. Burdick out of New Hampshire there sent her a beautiful cup and saucer set.
Comes with a little whisk. So
yeah, a little chocolate. Got its own little whisk. So Missy Jen's going to sample her Burdick's chocolate. I made that, whipped that up for her this morning here. So yeah.
Oh,
Never loves chocolate.
It's like a little patch of heaven.
Good stuff, huh? There we go.
Oh, that's good.
She loves that. All right.
So if you're watching this later, or if you're coming on later, and you rewind this, Joe, this is heavenly.
Yeah, a lot of people will watch this later. I'm sure Joe will check this out. If not, we'll see him on the hangout tonight.
And the cup is beautiful. The sauce is beautiful. Oh.
There we go. So I'm going to grab a couple plates now. We're going to cut the cake.
Christian, zu deiner Frage, ich habe es leider noch nicht. Ich habe es nie geschafft, nach Wien zu kommen. Ich bin immer durch Bayern durchgefahren, in Österreich rein, dann durch Österreich komplett durchgefahren nach Jugoslawien. Durch Triest, Italien, durch Triest durch und dann nach Jugoslawien. Ich war in Urlaub gefahren in Poreč and Pula in Jugoslawien, bevor der Krieg ausgebrochen ist. In Jugoslawien, in Kroatien.
There it is. There's the way the piece looks with the chocolate on the inside. Our standard recipe. I'm going to give this to Missy Jen now. Let her start tucking into that. You've got your napkin there, so you're all set. Cut myself a piece, and let's enjoy the fruits of our labor from last night. And I do mean labor. Should always clean your knife off between cuts. They come out much better. If you take a knife through that has cake on it, then it's very difficult to sometimes to cut through that. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to cut myself a piece here now. Sit down and join Missy Jen. We need our sugar high to go get our tree today, for sure. Okay, so there it is on the plate. Ooh, yeah, it does. It looks great. It really looks good. So, as is the tradition here, we'll let Missy Jen clean that up a little on there. I think it's very moist.
Richard.
Good morning, Richard.
How are you?
We'll have to drive a piece up to Sac for you, huh? The way it looks on the inside. Really cut very nicely there. Very happy. Standard. Edward said you look happy today, little bear. Anytime you put chocolate in front of Jen, she's not going to be sad.
Eddie, I've got...
Thank you, Carl. Good morning to you, my friend.
I've got German chocolate cake, and I got some really good hot chocolate. At the moment, I am in heaven. What else can I say?
All right, Jen, go ahead. Give it a whirl there.
And then we have...
we got Carl here.
Good morning, Kyle.
Yes, I made a second cake, Deb, later tonight. The first one I made did not set the center of the cake, so I just shit canned that and did my own chocolate cake recipe, which worked like a charm. Luckily, I made the icing first because that was extremely complex. If I had to make the icing after the first cake didn't turn out, I would have just killed the hangout, and that would have been it. But as it is, I was already in on the icing, so I knew that just knocking out my standard chocolate cake would be easy. So I think Missy likes it. You've had a few German chocolate cakes in your life, huh?
Wow, this is good.
Right off the bat, very moist.
Yeah, it's very moist. It's I really like the icing with the pecans in it.
And the coconut.
And the coconut is always my favorite anyways.
Don't hate us because we're eating cake.
So it's a really nice composition of flavors between the coconut, pecan flavor, and the chocolate. It's just such a wonderful harmony of flavors.
It really is a wonderful cake.
It's like a rainbow of flavors. Like when you see colors flashing of flavors. That's delicious.
Yeah, the toasting, make sure you toast or butter and sugar the pecans before you work with them. Don't use raw pecans. Carl said you're very patient doing that icing. This is called the old style boiled icing, where you just put sugar and milk and 4 egg yolks, and it takes a long time. And the egg yolks actually act like a thickening agent to start bringing it together. So, yeah, it took about, what did it take, Carl? About 35, 45 minutes to do that icing. Good cake, though. Very moist. Here's one hint for you guys. If you ever want to make a cake, and you have to be 100% sure that that cake is moist, use oil instead of butter on it. It makes a tremendous difference in there. You're guaranteed moistness. I hear what you said, but I can't imagine the first cake was that screw. We got eaten in my house. Oh, it was like a lava cake. It was liquidy at the center on there. So I couldn't ice it. I couldn't do anything for it. You know, it would look like a volcano just down in the middle. Room temp egg and butter. Yeah, you've got to have your eggs and your butter at room temperature. That's absolutely critical. The eggs separate very easily when you're separating the whites from the yolks. It's very easy when you have when they're warm at room temperature. I got that butter out 6 hours before the hangout started, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And let me tell you, I rolled through some butter last night. Weird. I used a hell of a lot of butter last night. Ooh. All right. Got something nice to eat this week. Nice breakfast for Missy Jen. So like I said, I kind of knew at the beginning of the hangout, Deb, the RN, that it was, if any recipe was going to trip me, this would be the one, with this cake, folding in egg whites to the batter to lighten it up. It was just too, I think the problem was I used 6 egg whites instead of 4. So there was the liquid count was too high for the batter. This is the Southern Living magazine recipe. Well, it's not. It was what I started to make. Was that? It's very good. Icing is really the real kind of German chocolate cake. I mean, that coconut and the pecans in there. Tara would like this. Tara likes my baking.
I think anybody will love this.
Exactly right.
I remember Tara was going to buy your pancakes.
Yeah. My secret peach and coconut pancake recipe, huh? A little bit of coconut flavor with peach. What a nice combo there. Sarah says, my mom doesn't seem to put sugar in her pies. All taste is crust and, what is that? Crust and fruit. All I taste is, yeah. Well, this sure as heck is no low-calorie deal here, I can tell you that. But it's not like you sit down and eat the whole cake. You want more? This is a great luxury cake for breakfast. Get Missy Jen another piece fired up here. Most pies are too sweet. Yeah, I don't like stuff that's too sweet. I like to taste the flavor. But it's critical. It's very critical that your fruit be ripe, or else you're not gonna have a cake with any sweetness to it at all.
Eddie, I'm not.
Where's your plate?
Rosie's the one that does the magic. Thanks, honey.
Yep. Yeah.
So how are you doing, Richard?
I said, I want Jennifer to make me a chocolate cream pie. Well, next week we're going to make the Jasmine Quinones almond cake. How about that? Our good friend Jasmine, she's a Latina heritage, so she really wants a almond cake. And she's our good pal up in New York there, so she shall have her almond cake, which I've never made. We use almond for pancakes once in a while. That's it. She's all excited. Can't wait. I'm imagining that and flans and things like that. They have the leche cake too, which is pretty famous. That's a pretty famous one too. They make some great Mexican tea cake cookies and things. They do some great baking in Mexico. And what is that? Divinity, the candy. I have to look that up. Good morning, Maxine. How are you, Luscious? Nice to see you. Maxine did a little drive-by last night. Divinity. You know, candy making is very, I've learned it, candy.
Good morning, Maxine.
Candy making is a very dangerous business. Since I've been doing the Dollar Tree stuff, almost every time I go to look at a candy company, they've had a catastrophic fire that hit their plant. Last week we had the the Echo Lake Food Company had a fire the week before. Yeah, okay, Maxine's like, woo, tonight is my company Christmas party. Okay, Deb said it's a drop candy, wasn't sure on the spelling. We'll have to look at that. Maxine, make sure you drop by the hangout tonight and let us know how how it all went, how you were the belle of the ball and all that. We need a full report tonight. Don't let us down there.
We need a full report, maybe even some videography or picture.
And remember, Maxine, if you don't have video, it never happened.
That's right.
That's what Jasmine said. If I don't see it on video, it didn't happen. I hope it goes good for her. She's worked so hard to get ready for this party. Tortured herself. Epilated, chemical, everything. Can you believe I just worked through that first piece of cake? That stuff is really, I don't know, Jen. I'm going to give that an A rating, that cake.
Yeah, it's an A+.
I mean, for on the fly. Yeah, I always send you a link as a matter of course, Maxine. So you always, I always have you on the send. You always get a link from me, just as a matter of course. Unfortunately, Sarah is going to be working her hiney off again tonight, so I don't think that she'll be on the. I'm going to miss my Teraboo on the hangout tonight. So, yeah. The old chocolate overload now. You got your chocolate, hot chocolate. You got your German chocolate.
Yeah.
Your German chocolate cake. Let's check your blood sugar.
It's probably 325.
There we go. Ooh. Pretty high. I don't know where in the hell did I even get my phone out. Let me grab my phone real quick. Entertain the troops again. Got a few more minutes on the hangout, then we gotta go get our first.
The cake is amazing. Oh, and I'm gonna be eating off of that all week long, babies. So yeah, Maxine, it's gonna be really awesome. I'm also hoping that everything goes. I'm wishing that everything goes great for you, and of course, just like Rosie does too.
Oh yeah,
And,
I'm looking forward to it.
Eddie, the dog Georgie, he's on the bed playing with his new toy that he's got. He already got up earlier, and he had his breakfast. He went to the bathroom.
And he's back in bed.
And he's back in bed, and he's playing with his new favorite toy.
I told you guys, George has got to have his 12 hours of sleep. 8 p.m. at night, he is done, man. It is in bed. No matter what's going on, he is on the bed, and that's it. And he needs his 12 hours for sure.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, Maxine said Rosie and Jen are lucky they can have their cake and eat it too.
LA verdict here is the bomb. If you make that with milk, like Rosie made that with milk, and that stuff is awesome.
LA Burdick. It even comes with a little whisk on it that we use to put it together.
This is the best hot chocolate I ever had.
Yeah, I'm just sorry Joey D's not here. We'll see him tonight. So I think we're going to make our own brittle too coming up. You know, I do have a candy thermometer somewhere in these cabinets that goes up. The temperature is really high and the temperature is really dangerous, and your chances of being hurt making candy are high in a kitchen. Kitchen accidents happen, and if molten candy gets on your skin, there's no saving the tissue, and it's a nightmare. So you got to be super careful. You got to be gloved up. You got to be. Sometimes people over glove though when they're making candy, and they don't get a good purchase. They don't get a good handle on the whatever they're pouring, and it slips out of their hand. So it's really quite it's quite gamey. I've made a lot of times. Let's see. Deb's talking about the Divinity. We'll see what that's like. That Divinity. Well, but I think maybe making a almond brittle would be good. You have to have a big sheet pan and then put the parchment down and then pour it out. So I think candy makers are right up there with roofers in terms of danger on the job for workers' comp insurance rates and stuff. I think they're pretty high. Okay, Deb, I will look into that to see about the Divinity candy. And we'll knock out some candy. We'll call that Deb the RN Divinity Candy. How about that? We might do a few more. Might do Tuesday night, kind of double up for the holidays. Our baking. Maybe we'll do since I'm off Wednesday, Tuesday nights and Friday nights. So. After I get off the TR's chat, to come over and do that. Double up a little bit. Yeah, it'd be fun to make some candy. I've made brittle before. Turns out good.
Take the leaf blower to the Lady Gaga show.
There you go. It's the best way I found to get the dust and dog fur off the velvet. There you go. Oh, well, Diane said my grandma used to make, she was a great cook. She even made homemade ketchup. Yeah, actually ketchup it's a good thing to make your own. And it's not really that difficult. You know, vinegar, sugar, salt, tomatoes, and kind of flavor it up. It works out, yeah. Yeah, that's good. I think grandmas in those days did a lot more stuff, right?
Everything I remember as a kid, everything was made at home. We hardly went shopping for anything.
Just in case you guys coming late to the party, there is the German chocolate cake knocked out there, and I'll tell you, it tastes fantastic. It just tastes amazing. Definitely was worth the struggle to put that out last night. So
we used to make our own bread, and we used to cook in all of our vegetables, our potatoes.
Oh, okay. Diane said she grew up in the family in the catering business. So yeah, that's called the on-the-job training. You know, she probably never did a cooking class or chef training in her life, and could probably kick out product as good as anything that comes out of chef school. So it's like you do it enough, and then it just becomes almost automatic. Then your focus becomes on the best quality ingredients that you can use to make your product. All right. So, all right, I am going to get ready to close this little mini hangout down. I guess a lot of people are out doing Christmas stuff this morning. We don't have a lot of it. A lot of people will watch this through the week. So thank you for tuning in. You guys, we're going to be putting up, I have the other computer over there. I'm editing Friday Night Foodies, Turkish restaurant last night. Something a little different for Jen and I, and it turned out great. So I will see you guys 5 p.m. on the West Coast and 8 p.m. on the East Coast tonight for our regular. The elf will be in the house, and we will be doing our usual Saturday night hangout. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Anything goes. You know, as you guys know, I run an open panel. Okay, Deb, love you. Thank you, Diane, everybody, Jasmine, Maxine, try to check in tonight. Yeah. And when you get home, we need a full report. No bullshitting around now.
That's right.
And Tara, we love you. So you take care out there. So thanks, everybody, for being in this morning.
Christian Haslinger, alla viele Grüße.
Put that chest out. All right.
Everybody.
All right.
Eddie.
All right. Don't kill him. All right.
Yes.
Good night, Edward. Yeah, her birthday's coming up on next Friday, the 7th. So, woo, she gets to pick the Friday Night Foodies next week. And she gets a new phone. She's so happy. All right, guys. See you tonight. Mwah.